Boom, back at it, Chinch. What's going on, brother?
Funbags. What's going on?
Dude, I tell you what's going on? A lot's going on in your world, dude. I mean, it's like I call you now, I can't get a return phone call. You're freaking you're hitting the decline button. I'm going right to voicemail. No, seriously, bro. You got some good stuff going on. New gig happening. Chinch is back in the game. Let's go. What's going on, dude?
I'm super back in the game. I have not stopped working, and I will never, ever, ever in my life again not care about that. I love it. I'm having a good time with it. First of all, I do return your phone calls all the time, except for the last one you did. I did mute you. But, dude, I'm doing some stuff with the 33rd team, 33rdteam.com. Look it up. Dude, this is absolutely crazy. I'm kind of back in the football world when I'm not doing this, which, by the way, this is never, ever, ever going away. The mayor's office is never going away, but
for life, mayor's office for life.
Mayor's office for life. But, dude, I'm just going to rip through the roster. So fans that love us, and by the way, we got it's coincidentally this all happened within a couple weeks that we had the Big Lambooski fantasy show coming.
That's right.
I don't think I'm not going to give Lambooski the credit for me getting this work. There's a couple people I know who called me saying that I used to work with. Let me just real quick rip through some of this roster because I want fans to go look at this roster. Ready? Here's who's on the roster: Bill Parcells, Bill Polian, Marvin Lewis, Bill Cower, Brett Favre, Michael Vick, Joe Thomas, Rod Woodson, Rick Spielman, Rich Gannon, Cam Jordan, Chris Long, Eddie George, Chuck Pagano, Greg Jennings, Rondé Barber, Mike Martz, Mike Zimmer, Robert Smith, Dave Wanstead, Lavernius Coles. I'm stopping there.
Wow, bro, that's incredible.
Wayne Corbett, Long Island, represent Hofstra
Let's
University.
go, baby, Wayne.
Plenty more, plenty more, and I'm just having a good time with it. And the funny thing is also
Trey Wingo. Did you say Trey Wingo?
Trey Wingo's going to be hosting a lot of stuff. We're doing a lot of videos. So
dude, that's an all-star cast, brother.
Dude, I didn't even get through half.
That's an all-star cast.
I didn't get halfway through it. There's like 42 guys on there, and they're brilliant. Oh, but I got to give Mike Tannenbaum is like, I think this was really his original vision, and he is so nice and sweet. First of all these guys are really amazing, but also a coincidence. I think it was a week or two ago we talked about Dave Wanstead, who I finally got to meet and talk to the last couple days. And today, dude, I was on a call with him today, and I was like, hey, dude, fellow Pittsburgh guy, Sean Casey, my boy. And he goes, Sean Casey, Pittsburgh, of course, whatever. And I was like, no, he told me when I met you that I have to say this one word that you'll understand. And he's like, yeah, I don't know what that is. And then he goes, well, you know what? Tell Sean Casey I said from one, what is it? One to
Yinzer, from one Yinzer to another.
That's the word.
Like in Pittsburgh, we have our own language. And like people say, like, instead of you guys, hey, where are you guys going? They say, hey, where Yin's going? Hey, can I take Yin's orders? Yin's want an omelet, bacon, and toasting that. Yin's want sourdough bread. Yeah, it's incredible, bro. Like there used to be a bar downtown and called Donzi's, and like Yin's getting down Donzi's after the game and that. Get yourself a couple cold ones, irons. Iron City beer. They call them irons. Yin's want a couple irons tonight. It's incredible. The Stillers. Yin's getting down to watch the Stillers, and Roethlisberger. He retired in that. And they say in that, and they up talk.
Yes.
Hey, Yin's going downtown. Aaron Boone used to always be like, bro, you're always up talking. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, you're always like raising it up.
I've heard you say, it's funny as you were saying that just now, and I've noticed this recently, especially because you're home a lot more than you used to be. You're with your family. You're parked a lot more in Pittsburgh, and a lot of times you'll ask me a question, and it goes up in the end. You're like, Chinch, are we going to do that tomorrow? And I'm like. And it only happens like one out of every 4 sentences. But I'm like, wait, what?
I'm talking. Yeah.
That's so great. I seriously was thinking about that today. So anyway, so we got that. So, hey, the Big Lambooski, you better keep your shit going. Keep firing hard. Maybe in a year or two, you can be in the fantasy lineup over there. Huge fantasy stuff, betting, all the stuff.
Well, bro, and also, too, for the Big Lambooski, we got him on the map at the mayor's office. But at the end of the day, bro, that guy knows more football than probably a lot of the football players I have on there. Yes. And all those fantasy football experts, they were the Big Lambooski at one point, just working at a bank, and next thing you know, they're the fantasy football experts.
Extremely true, and that just reminded me that this is how fired. Wait, he said this word the other day. He said a word the other day. This is how crazy Boo is, like crazy, but lovable crazy. He said the word promulgate, and we were talking shit to him about it.
Oh yeah.
He went and got a He sent this is a text. Me and Sean got from hashtag promulgate. Like,
it's incredible, dude. It's incredible.
Great. So first of all, we're gonna get. By the way, we gotta get you and Dave Wanstead together. We're gonna do that podcast,
bro. I love Dave Wanstead. Let's get Wanstead on the podcast. He's a yinzer, bro.
Yeah, I know. You guys can yinzer it up all day long. Yeah. All right, so let's get into this too. Big weekend coming. We got football. Fine, that's great, but I don't care what you say. Somebody has 55 home runs at the time of this taping. His name is Aaron Judge, and he was asked about what the real home run record was, and his answer was interesting. He said, "You can't take 73 away from Barry Bonds. I'm not chasing that. I'm just trying to do my thing." Roger Maris' son actually chimed in on that and said that he was pretty surprised that he said that, but he understands it. I want to know from you, what is the real home run record? Is it 61 home runs or is it 73 home runs?
Bro, this is a weird one for me because I played with all those guys. I played when all that was happening. My rookie year was 98 when the summer 98. They were both in my division. I watched McGuire hit 60 against us. I think Sosa hit 60 against us too. It was incredible. The chase was incredible. And then when Bonds hit 73 a couple years later, I mean, that was incredible too, especially in that park. And was the greatest player I've ever seen. You know, Bonds, I think all three of them, I think one of the biggest problems with those guys is that the connection to PEDs, you know, they started to break sacred records. You know, when you're talking about the home run record and breaking that's a sacred record. When you're talking, when you got Maris, you got Hank Aaron, you got Babe Ruth, you know what I mean? Like, those were long-lasting records, and all of a sudden they were just getting shattered, you know? So, I don't know, man. I haven't thought about this question, but I guess when you do think about it, if you look at the PEDs, those three guys were all linked to PEDs, and, you know, that makes maybe 61, 62 special again.
Yeah.
When, you know, because it's been long enough now. And Chinch, back in those days, bro, there was 10 guys hitting 50 a year.
Correct.
The closest guy to Judge, I think, Schwarber at 36, right?
He has close, like twice as many homers as anybody else in baseball.
20 homers behind Judge. So
it's actually kind of more like Babe Ruth. What he's doing is a little more. Babe Ruth was hitting 60 when other guys were hitting 12. Like,
right.
It's and you know what? Here's what I've been thinking about. It's like it doesn't matter. Like, can you if he doesn't play another game, this guy hit 55. Can you imagine if you're excited that you have a career 300 average? Nobody will ever take away from Aaron Judge that he has hit 55 home runs in a 162 game season, and we're not even done. He could hit 70. I doubt it, but
no, but he could get that 60, that 61, 62 number, you know.
Yeah, and I think if he passes if he gets to 62, then hey, he's got his own record. You know, like, I think it does suck because I love baseball cards. I loved reading baseball cards. I'm sure you did too, and I love
them.
And for a while I was like, oh man, stats don't matter anymore. But you know what? I still do appreciate a good stat now and again, and the fact that this guy's doing it, I will go out on a limb and say he's got to be 100 bazillion% clean just because of the type of the person I think he is.
He's 100% clean. Dude.
And by the way,
he's just a big human. He's just a big human being.
Yes, yeah. You know, we didn't argue against Stanton either when he hit 50 because Stanton is humongous. They're huge people.
Yeah, there's big guys out there, but you know.
So that's great. So there was but eventually,
dude, I must say, I'm not going to name the guys, but I lifted in the same weight room. Like, after a game, one of the visiting players would come over with his trainer, and I lifted with him 1-on-1 in the weight room. Mm-hmm. And bro, I was lifting 4 or 5 days a week. I was benching 350 pounds. Like, I was a big dude. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I had big legs, big back, you know, everything, bro. Right. And I looked over at this guy, and I'm like, he looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yep. like the muscles, like the veins and the veiny muscles and jacked. And I'm in there lifting, and I'm lifting, but I'm a big guy, right? I'm a big guy, and I'm like, how does that happen when there's no way, there's no chance he's working as hard as me, or maybe he's working as hard,
right?
But he should look somewhat like me.
Yeah, because it's almost inhuman.
It's almost inhuman, and he shouldn't look like he's about to go pose on stage.
Right. Here, I'll give you another example, and this is totally much more relatable to everybody else in the world. Is like when I'm sitting there watching a movie with Jess, my wife, and some dude comes out, and he's got a 14-pack ripped like this and jacked, and she's like, looks like that. And I'm like, he's juiced, Jess. You want me to look like that? Get me some needles. I'll go right in my ass, and I will look exactly like that guy. But that is not humanly possible. And she totally agrees with me. And well, it is what it is.
I always say it to the boys. I'm like, dude, that guy's on the gas. He's on the gas. Yeah. He's doing something that's not normal.
Yes.
You're not taking 2 spoonfuls of creatine and looking like freaking, looking like Lou Ferrigno.
No, exactly. All right. Moving on. That's a great topic. Very great topic. Yeah. I had fun with that. All right. So next thing, you're fired about this. You got your phone ready. You're all set up. You were fired up about this before you came on. Rule changes.
The new rules, dude. They're voting on them on today.
Go ahead, get on your
Friday.
Get on your pedestal. What do you got here? Talk about it.
Okay, let me look at what the rule changes are going to be. Hang on, it's right here.
That's fine. I told you to keep that website open, but that's all right.
I know. Dude, you're a hell of a producer. All right. Anyway,
go ahead.
So, dude, it's going to be okay. They're going to vote on this. Bigger bases, first ever pitch clock, the elimination of the shift, how many times a pitcher can disengage from the rubber. So they're going to have they're voting on a 15-second pitch clock with the bases empty and a 20-second clock with runners on, 2 disengagements from the rubber, including pickoff attempts per plate appearance. Requirements by hitters to be in the batter's box and alert with 8 seconds to go on the clock. I'd have been screwed there. Hitters are allowed 1 timeout per plate appearance. This is it. This is the shift. Only 2 infielders will be allowed on each side of second base, with all 4 required to be on the dirt or the inner grass. Nobody in the outfield anymore. Infielders cannot position themselves in the outfield grass before the pitch is thrown, and bases will increase from 15 inches squared to 18 inches squared.
Right. Okay. Oh my God. There's so much to unpack here. I'm going to start. Wait, let's start with the last thing you said because you were a first baseman. Okay. Yeah. The base becomes 15 to 18. So for people at home, visualize that. It's kind of like softball. Remember, like in women's softball, they have that extension on the back end of the base, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm assuming, I haven't looked at a picture of this yet. I do think that's got to be kind of like a safe. That could be a good safety issue, right? You played first base. You have the definitive answer to this.
I broke my back at first base, bro. Broke my back in 2006. I got a pick from Jose Castillo. It went in the air, and I went to grab it. As I grabbed it, John Mabry was running down for the Cubs. He was like,
big dude.
And he hit me with an elbow right in the back and broke 2 vertebrae in my back. Because it was too close. It was too tight. You know what I mean? I can understand that now. And that's one of the biggest things is they say the increase in the size of the bases, they're trying to reduce injuries around the bases and also increase stolen base attempts. Because how many times are guys out, bang, 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 bang?
Ooh, interesting. So what is it? 1-8? I think it's 1-8, right? Is the number when you can steal on some guys? That's a big time arm, right? Is it 1-8?
Yeah. 1-8 to 2-0 is like, right. is a big league catcher.
Right. So that's cool because we want to see stolen bases. I miss stolen bases. Okay, that's part one. The second thing, let me give you my opinion on the shift. I understand why some people are like, well, why? They figured the game out, so whatever. I'll take it back to our little combo with the football thing. You can't be in offensive. You can't have 3 wide receivers line up in the same place in NFL. And so what happens? Somebody's got to go in a slot. And it does not change the game in a bad way. It's just baseball at its greatest is there's your third baseman, there's your shortstop. That's how the game was played for 100 years. I am all for. Now, wait, let me go backwards real quick. I am mad at a lot of hitters for not trying to counter it because they could have done this on their own. If they weren't so stubborn and saying
I don't know, bro.
You don't think so?
Know. Like so if I'm a left-handed hitter and the guys are in a shift on me pulled to the right side, they're not throwing me fastballs away usually. They're going to try and pound me in. They want me to hit into the shift. That's what so you're not really getting the pitch. Okay. You might get one, but you're not getting one to, and also too, if they're shifting on you a lot of those guys are the big hitters. They would rather have Kyle Schwarber hit a single to the left and hit a 3-run homer to right.
Right, but isn't that why we love baseball? Isn't that how the game works? Like, I get your point too. I just
no, I understand what you're saying.
I love
dude.
baseball, like when you go
make them shift back. Make them shift back.
Yeah,
by hitting it over there.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the original thing. But to this point, I love not having a shift. I think baseball's a more beautiful game. There was a reason it lasted so well for 100 years. You don't have to change it just because the other sports are changing it. I would love to not see the shift, so that's really awesome. Are there any other things in there that you're really fired up? Dude, talk about the one timeout thing. Are you cool with that?
Well, they got the pitch clock.
Yeah,
so how about the pitch clock? The pitch clock will start when the umpire receives the ball from the catcher. Most of the time, that's after every pitch. Says umpires will have a buzzer on them to indicate the pitch clock has expired, leading to a ball being called. If hitters aren't ready with 8 seconds remaining on the clock, a strike will be issued. Each hitter will be allowed one timeout per plate appearance. Mound visits are limited to 30 seconds unless due to injury.
Okay.
I'd like to see how that goes. They've been doing this in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And it's showing results. And I think that's why they're voting on these things, because they're showing speed of play and more, just more action. Also, too, pitchers can step off the rubber only twice per plate appearance without a penalty, but after a third step off, which does not result in a pickoff, a balk will be called. So if you step off twice, that runner now knows you can't step off again, gives him incentive to steal.
That is a great point. So now we go. Here we go. Sounds like they're really pushing for more speed in the game. That is a great point, Sean. You're a brilliant person.
There we go. Thank you, brother.
The other thing I like about it is I like how you have to speed up. You can't just speed up the hitter or just speed up the pitcher, because let's just say you just did those hitters rules with the timeout and whatever, and you didn't do the pitching thing. So now the pitcher's standing here like this. And what happens when Sean Casey's standing there and the pitcher's going like this? What do you want to do?
Right.
You want to call timeout and be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm ready. So whatever. Progress.
Well,
I think.
And then the pitcher and the catcher are going to have to be more on the same page too, because you got to throw the ball.
Yes.
You got to throw the ball. You can't just go like this all day and come on out here. No.
Right.
Just grab it and you're going to see more. You're also going to see guys throw pitches they don't want to throw. If you know if a pitcher doesn't throw with conviction, he's going to hang the slider or hang the curveball. I don't want that, but he doesn't have the time to get to the next pitch. You're going to see some more mistakes made too because of that.
But you know what? At the end of the day, I do think the more we're talking about this, the more I like it in general, overall spectrum, because you're challenging people to create action. Because if you don't create action, what's happened in the last few years? Nobody's hitting the ball. They're only hitting home runs.
No one's stealing. No one's bunting.
So now you got to just be good. You got to be good, and you got to be alert. And then I think it increases the athleticism just even in that point and the focus. So beautiful. All right. Wow. We are on fire today.
Love it. Let's go.
Next one. Okay. Now weekend coming up. Football, Pittsburgh Steelers, everybody else. Where is Sean Casey watching football?
Let's go,
and
bro.
what is he eating?
I'm gonna be in my Montana room.
Oh,
probably with the Big Lambooski next to me.
You're gonna put a fire up. Do you know what
the Big Lambooski does on Sundays?
Probably headbutts a wall as hard as he can wearing a Lawrence.
Well, he definitely does that. But he does that first, and then he comes over to my house while I'm at church. So I go to church at 11:30 with the kids. Nice. I get home from church. Boo's freaking car is already at my house with a fire going on my porch. Dude, sometimes we won't go out there. Boo will be there for 7 hours. Swear to God.
What is he?
From 12 o'clock until like 7:30, he's there. And sometimes he'll stay for the Sunday night football game.
Oh, my God.
But then he's like, my wife's going to leave me if I don't go home.
Do you ever kick him out? Do you ever just go, Boo, go home, man?
There are times I'm like, Boo, like, you are raiding my refrigerator every couple hours. Like, you need to bring your own food.
Wait, hold on. Is this Sarah's first football season in the house? Because
last year wasn't. She was
she got a piece of this action. She saw Boo.
She goes, like after the third week, she goes, does he come over every Sunday? And I go, he does. And he'll be here before we get home from church. He'll be here at noon with a fire raging, lining up his 47 fantasy football teams, talking to friends to put lineups in. It's incredible, bro. This guy's one of a kind. This guy is one of a kind. And he'll have a full jersey on. I have a video that I have to show you where he MF'd the Steelers for like 2 minutes, and I took a video of him without him knowing it, and I said, you have a problem. I think you need to get help ASAP.
Amazing. All right. We are on a high note, and there is no other high note possible to end this show. Man, I'm going to cry. I'm so happy. Dad had his heart surgery yesterday, and he's doing great so far. So God bless him. I'm so fucking happy, Sean. I'm so happy.
Thank you, bro. I just want to say thanks to all the people that are saying the prayers. I think the power of prayer works. It's a big deal, and we can feel the prayers here in the Casey house. My dad had open heart surgery, second open heart surgery in the last 6 months to replace the mitral valve, and then also put in a pacemaker. And Chinch, I got a great story for you, bro. My dad's just a fighter, you know, and he is so. My mom and I went into the ICU today, the first time to see him this morning. And my dad's, kind of like me, man. He's never at a loss for words, and he's, but when people come around, he'll talk the whole time, right? Yeah. The nurses will be like, this guy doesn't stop talking. My mom's like, I've been married to him for 52 years. It's a total shit show at our house. So my dad's, got off the breathing tube. We hadn't seen him off the breathing tube yet. So we got off the breathing tube last night. We went in this morning. We're walking in, bro, the ICU, and it's packed, right? So here comes my mom and I, they let 2 people in. My dad's in the back in the chair. And now I think he's talking to me, but I'm not sure. And he's like, hey, listen, this is what he says. And he just had a stroke, so he's not talking great, but I felt like he was talking pretty clear. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, listen, he's like, I'm glad you're here. What do you say? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to know that you care about me, but you got to leave.
And who was he talking to?
I'm like, what the hell? Because I guess he was like tired, and he just didn't want to entertain me and my mom. So I go, Dad. I go, can we stay for 5 minutes? We just want to see you. He goes, set the timer. So my mom and I are in the ICU. I got a 5-minute clock, like it's a pitch clock for Jim Casey. We're talking about the 15-second pitch clock, the fucking hitting the big leagues. Jim Casey's got a 5-second pitch clock in the ICU. Susan hit. So, bro, my mom's talking to nurses. He's taking some pills, but he's grinding. He's got tubes coming out of him everywhere. The clock hits 0, and he's like, all right, see you guys later. Bye-bye. Me and my mom stand up, walk right out, and we were like, but the feistiness in Dad, psyched, the fighter in Dad is right there. He knows what he wants. He's ready to fight. Let's go. So
I love it. I love it, man. We're ending on that
note. Long road ahead, but, thankful for the 7-hour surgery, bro. 7-hour surgery. That's crazy.
That's a grind.
Dr. Yoon, give a shout out to Dr. Yoon out there at UPMC.
Yeah. And I'm sure all the nurses
doctor,
and stuff.
And all the nurses have been very kind, and so I'm just very grateful, dude.
Good.
And I appreciate everybody leaning in with some prayers. Thank you so much, and keep them coming.
I love it. Love it so much. All right, let's end. You can't end on a better high note than that.
Yes.
Cannot. I'm really happy.
The Jim Casey pitch clock. Can we get it to 10? Can we get it to 10, 10 minutes next time?
You think you're going to? Yeah, I was going to say, like, do you get an extra minute or 2 every time you go?
Bro, I don't know. Like, my dad, I told my sister, was like, should we even go tomorrow? I was like, I don't know. We should take a day off. I think we should go in 2 days.
Yeah. It's great. I'm so happy, man. All right, and so what do we got? Jeez, oh my God, we got last week's show, which dude,
Mark Magna, you kidding me, bro? Tune in. It's this week's show. It's this week's show.
Yes,
tune in to Mark Magna. Listen, one of the hardest working guys I've ever met. Played in the NFL, CFL. He's one of the best trainers. His trains some of the biggest names in sports. Yeah. Literally some of the biggest names in sports. Guys down in Miami, but he has a documentary called Just a Kid from Fall River. Go check it out on Amazon Prime. It is on Prime Video. It is so awesome. Yep. He's got a book out too. I can't remember what the book's called, but such a great book. Mark Magna. Tune into this episode. Yeah. If you have not done it, tune into this episode.
Yeah. And by the way, and ladies, go to the YouTube channel because he makes Brad Pitt look like me and Casey. This guy is a very handsome fella.
Very good looking dude. Fella. How about and on the podcast I said to him, "Oh, dude, you had your good looks in Montreal." He was so embarrassed.
Oh my God.
Megs put his hands in his head.
I know he's such a humble human being.
Yeah, dude, he was so embarrassed when I said, "You're a good looking dude."
Yeah, one of the most intense shows we've ever done. You can hear his intensity, and I've the most feedback I got back so far from fans who have said stuff, and some of my friends who have listened, has been like, that was intense and awesome. Like, you got to listen to this guy's perspective on this.
Yeah.
It just flows right into your mind.
Chinch, I'm not kidding you when I say he's like the real life Incredible Hulk.
I could see
he's
it,
like
yes.
Mark Megna, nice guy, most humble, meditates every day. Don't piss him off, or he will turn green and rip his shirt off and freaking turn into the Incredible Hulk.
Great, awesome. And then we got Brett Tomko coming up next week.
Yeah, we got Brett Tomko, my man, BT, coming up next week. Great teammate, played with the Reds when we first came up, played with a ton of teams, have some great stories with him, brother.
Awesome. Well, let's keep it rolling, and we're not going to quit here.
Right.
And by the way, next Wednesday you're gonna Big Lambooski after with games played.
Get ready, baby. Big Lambooski with games played is like freaking being shot out of a freaking cannon. I'll tell you that right now. Holy shit.
Awesome.
It's
All
gonna
right,
be
buddy.
unbelievable.
Have a great weekend. See if you can get like 15 total minutes this weekend with Pops. Let's go.
All right, well, we're gonna have to. If we can get to 15 minutes, it's a victory, bro. You never know, though. All right. And don't Bigley. You can't Bigley get Bigley your Chinch. When I call you, quit sending me the voicemail. Don't send me the voicemail.
I'm always here for you. You're my boy.
All right, brother.
All right,
love you, Chinchy. I'll see you next week. Subscribe, download, everybody. Tell everybody about us. Let's go, baby. Here we go. All right, man. See you next week.
See you, bro.